It's not a reveal. It's just a reveal. That game. It's Zelda month and Harry Potter month, so expect a Harry Potter review. But it's Zelda month, and I love Zelda. Should have wore my Zelda shirt, but that's in the wash, so I couldn't. And I thought, I'm not gonna review Breath of the Wild like I was planning on. I'm gonna review the original. I had it on the 3DS, but I had it on the 3DS, but my 3DS broke, so I had to get a new 3DS, and I didn't want to buy it for the house. But it turns out we ended up getting this, so I can play Zelda 1 and 2 for the price of one. Well, actually, the price of 30 plus console, but pish posh. So I got a chance to replay it, and it's just as great as I remember. Some aspects it hasn't aged well, but it always bothers me when a critic says, "Oh, it hasn't aged well." Now, if you say something like for a recent thing, yeah, you can say it like something that came out a year ago and had horrible old stuff. It's like, oh, that did not age well at all. But there's always going to be better technology that outshines it. Think the Nintendo 64 games still look good? No, they don't. The 3DS made them look better, but no, they don't look that good. So it always bothered me when people would do that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the game. And playing the game, I loved it. I love playing it again. It was great. And after playing Breath of the Wild for so long and then playing this one, I started to remember how alike those two games are. You start off not knowing anything. You just walk into a cave. You get a weapon from an old man, and then you walk out of the cave, and your adventure begins. You have no guidance. You have no idea what you're doing, but you know you gotta save the world. And that's what really Breath of the Wild was like. You walk out of a cave. You get a weapon from an old man, and you just start your journey. You have no idea. You can follow story beats, just like you can follow story beats in this. Like the original game came with little pamphlet. They always came. Video games always came with pamphlets. And back in like NES days, they would tell you the story in the pamphlet, so you could just look at the pamphlet, and yeah, you could just do that. So the story basically is Link is just a random boy who was chosen by Zelda's head handman to go save her, because he is the chosen one, and he must defeat the evil Ganon, who has the Triforce of Power. And he also has his Princess Zelda. Zelda split the Triforce of Wisdom into 8 pieces. Link has to go all across the land of Hyrule and reclaim those 8 pieces to rebuild the Triforce of Wisdom and defeat Ganon and save Zelda. It's just your classic save the day sort of story, but it feels so fun because it's unlike anything. It wasn't a linear experience. You just walked out of the cave and your adventure began. You could have went to Ganon first, and you could have beat him. It would have been insanely hard, but you could have done it, because even the first dungeon gets hard, because you only have, most of the time you'll either have 4 or 3 heart pieces. So it gets pretty, so this game is difficult. Of course, now you can, if you get lost, you can just look up, or don't know what to do, you can just look up online, but I choose sometimes not to do that, because I like to immerse myself. It's only if I'm really absolutely stuck that I need to look up guides. That's the only time I ever look up guides, is if I absolutely, desperately need help because I'm lost. But other than that, I just play the game and I get immersed. And this game immersed me. Now let's talk about the things that I don't like much. There's so many items, most of them end up feeling useless. And sometimes you only use them once. The bait, you only use that once. The raft, you can use that to get to like a little area of the map to get a heart piece, but that's it. A lot of items they just added because they didn't think of those other items could be useful. So it's too many items, I think, and it can get annoying. Always, all the constant enemies that surround you. There's always so much, and it gets kind of annoying. Thankfully, this was the first ever video game to implement a save system, so that really works out. But yeah, some of the bosses aren't as memorable as others, but you know, unlike Zelda, we didn't know their names. Of course, now we do, and some of those have been kept into other games. Mandahala, Goma, some of them have been kept into other games. Some I remember from this game loving to fight. Agadar, I believe, the first boss's name. That was so fun. I loved fighting him in the first dungeon. That was fun. So some bosses who aren't in the game as much anymore, or in them at all, you remember them, but some you don't. Now, let's talk about the Triforce. I know this is just a little minor complaint. That's more a problem with the story. But why did Zelda split it into 8 pieces? If Link was the chosen one, why not just give the entire Triforce wisdom to Link? It seems kind of dumb in retrospect, but you know, we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on this game. It's a great way to start the series. Some things have not aged as well. The 8-bit graphics, I still like looking at them. They're fun. The theme, I love it. It was the first use of the Zelda theme. It was great. I still love the it was great. I love this game. Some things I don't like about it. Some enemies give you so much damage, it ends up being annoying. But overall, the game is fantastic. But some of the bads will end up outweighing the positives. So, time to end my first video game review. Now, for video games, I do out of 10s. No, like, special word or item after it. No out of hundreds, no special item after it. Just out of 10. And I give Legend of Zelda 8 out of 10. A really solid first start to the game that would only get better as it went on. Yes, we'd have some not as good ones, but it's such a fantastic start, and I love this game. Zelda! Yeah! I'm planning on hopefully doing another Zelda review this month. I know this weekend I'm hoping to get out a Harry Potter review. Hopefully it'll be a combo review with another person. Just has to make sure all those plans get through. But other than that, that's all out. If you've never played Legend of Zelda, get an emulator or 3DS or Virtual Console. Go to Virtual Console on the Wii or 3DS or Wii U and get it. You can't buy the NES Classic and play it. On the NES Classic, 30 games. And this is not. That's my dog. This is not an advertisement that Nintendo said, because why would they do that to a kid? It's only $60. They finally got so much of these in stock after when they first came out like a year or two ago, and they went out of stock instantly. They finally got a bunch of them in stock. And it's 30 full games from the NES. It's just a miniature version of the console, 2 controllers. It's fantastic. I recommend getting it. If you can't get that, then yeah, I would just get the Virtual Console version of some of these games, but I recommend playing it just because you can play with the NES. It's so cool. But done with that. Jordan from Jordan Reviews, signing off.